Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for a tarot reading for all Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Happy Valentine's Day to anyone who's celebrating. You're all my Valentines. So we're always connected regardless of what your situation is. And if you are new here, welcome. I post new readings on Friday, then again on Monday. So if a reading doesn't fit, don't ever try to force it. Just come back in a couple of days. You can watch a new reading. Fridays are always a general reading. So today's reading will bring in aspects of money, love, career, moving, and anything you could ask about. Mondays are a different style every week. So you're just going to have to come back to see what that's about. If you like tarot and you like the channel, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to Higher Source Tarot. What advice do you have for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What does Sagittarius need to know, please, for the best and highest good of all concerned with Sagittarius? Messages for Sagittarius, please. All right, we will start here with the tarot, and then we'll have the angel answers. You have the Chariot moving forward. This is very interesting. Okay, 78 cards here. These two came out together. The King and Queen of Swords, Strength, the Eight of Cups, the Four of Cups, the Tower. Well, I do feel like you're going to have an ending to something, but it's not, again, with the energies that are here, we've got four major arcana. There's going to be a turning point here. But I do feel like with the King and Queen of Swords, you're going to have that clarity of thought. Communication is going to be very clear. And for somebody here, there's a move coming in. I got that right away. So I do feel like either a job or a geographic move comes in. Others of you, though, with a relationship, if you're in something right now, even if you're in kind of a tumultuous time, I feel like you're going to work things through for sure. It just feels like love will overcome, okay? So we have Cancer and Scorpio. We've got Leo here. We've got air and water. So maybe not your best mix of elements, right? We're missing out on that fiery energy that is so complementary. Well, the Chariot is bringing heaven to earth. It's law of attraction energy. This too, for somebody here, I do feel like if you've lost a job or there's something about this, there's going to be some kind of big transition. You're going to meet somebody very important. The Chariot is wonderful in terms of work endeavors moving forward. It is a card, too, of travel. It also can be getting a new car. So if the Tower represents your last car and you're going, yeah, I've been using Uber and getting rides from people, with the energy of the Chariot, you will move forward. Or even, I know this is probably for one person on here, if you work for a service like Uber or Lyft or something like that, I also see some tie to that having an increase, or even if you've been having some difficulty with a vehicle, getting something else. But with the Chariot, in terms of relationships, it's victory and success. Yes, I mean, this is a wonderful card to have in any reading. And especially when we have the Tower showing up with death. I mean, there's definitely something here that, of course, death comes after the Chariot. And the Chariot, really, it goes in this order, okay? So it goes the Chariot, and then Strength is right after the Chariot in the order. So I should put it like this so that it makes a little more sense. There's something important here when you have the Chariot and Strength, again, and we've got the King and Queen of Swords coming in here, also in order. All right, there's something significant when all this comes out. It's like there's something going on here where I feel like the truth prevails, but so does love for somebody. And things are going to be very straightforward as they move forward. There's no confusion. There's no second guessing. There's no feeling like the other shoe is going to drop. You're going to have a new door that opens for you. Now, if you had a relationship that ended and you're not finding many offers that appeal to you, I do feel like you might be single for a little bit, but I feel like it's going to be just fine. It's better than being with somebody. It's like owner of a lonely heart. Remember that song, Better Than Owner of a Broken Heart? So I do feel like you have somebody who will come in. Might not be until, feels like April, May-ish, if you're single and you're saying, yeah, I'm the owner of the lonely heart. It's not lonely, okay? There's plenty of love in this universe for you. And with the Chariot, I feel like you are going to attract the one with this. There's something about it, very protective energy. It's got that undercurrent of Cancer. And so as things move along and it's got all that driven energy, you're going to have a wonderful field of influence around you. So if you are having a bit of a transition with a job, now is not the right time anyway to attract a new love interest. I feel like as soon as the job kind of gets worked around and gets straightened around, that's when they'll come in. And it's in this kind of energy. So the King of Swords, very no nonsense. If you were dealt a I was going to say termination. I hate to use that word. I don't know why. But if you were dealt a blow at work, it might have been by this one right here. Very no nonsense and very, it's just like they don't like to get emotionally involved at work. It feels more work related to me, somebody who just keeps it ultra professional. And there's just sort of this sense of just not caring in some ways. But what I really think is it's almost for their own preservation. They just feel like they can't get too overly emotional and involved with work. But I do feel like if those of you that it is a job change, you're going to find that being in a situation where people are a bit more caring is going to be it just feels so much more helpful to you as a person. And it feels more fun. Those of you that are moving on to a new work environment, if it was a bit stiff and impersonal, I do feel like wherever you're moving, I get like potlucks and stuff. If you're saying, oh yeah, my last work would never have had a potluck. Jesus, no. With this, whatever it is, I feel like you're moving into something that's going to be a lot more comfortable and comforting. There's something about that. And if it was a relationship that ended and the person was very stoic and detached in some way or just not emotionally available, I do feel like you've learned a lesson. Now, interestingly enough, with the King and Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords is actually the widow of the tarot. So this is not that power couple in terms of a really super solid loving relationship. That is not them. What the King and Queen of Pentacles, yes, or fire or water. But with these two, this one comes in to say you've learned your lesson. So you won't go back into something that was challenging and brought pain to you. It's also like we were talking about, it's having intellectual prowess and seeing things, making making excellent decisions as you move forward. So quiet the mind and allow the door to open, because with Strength, you have something new coming in here. And this too, with the Strength card, you will be thriving in change, okay? Even with these guys being here, this will bring you into complete transformational energy. So they're important to be here. So with the energy of the Strength card in a relationship, you're going to attract somebody who's also, I feel like, very mature and there's love and caring here, yes, but there's a maturity. And it's also a loyalty. You're going to find that if you had someone who was quite disloyal, and like we were talking about, even if it was work and very impersonal, this feels so much more personal to me in a very positive way. It makes it feel safer, because you don't feel like, they don't care about the employees here at all. We've got another 8 here too, by the way. With the 8 of Cups, this is the hero's journey. They're telling you you're on the right path. All right, this is a search for deeper meaning, but it's a new cycle that brings in more. So whether it's a relationship, and if it is, I do feel like the next one's the best one. If it's a job though too, it's going to meet a lot more of your criteria for what feels good at work. It's not just about the paycheck. And if you're switching too in terms of a job, like you're making a big career transition, it's all over this reading, but it brings in your heart's desires. So the 4 of Cups too, for some of you, I mentioned earlier, you may have a bit of a disinterest in change too, by the way. But what I said earlier with this, some of you may, if you're single, you may be getting, having encounters with people that are interested in you, but you're just not interested back. I just don't see you budging on that. Like I said, I feel like April, May would be better, a better time frame in terms of meeting someone, especially if you are having a big transition at work. I almost feel like they come in succession, and when you get into that energy, you'll know it. You'll say, this is now the time. With the 4 of Cups, so too, in terms of a job, this also may be an indication of your interest in your previous job or your current job, saying this is really not meeting the mark anymore. And when we have that, the Tower comes in for a purpose. This brings in that quick and sudden change, but it's ultimately an awakening. let go or be dragged with this one. And so with this, it's going to offer you a new perspective, a higher perspective, but it's a tower that's built on sand. It's not sustainable. It's not here to last. And it always, always, always is replaced by something better. So this is not about a loss as much as it's about having what you asked for delivered to you. So with this tower energy, get ready, because, you know, after the tower comes the star. Now in this reading, of course, it comes death. So they're telling you it's time to let go of something, but you've got a dawn of a new day here. This is also an indication that your ships are coming in. So even if you've been through a dark period and you're saying, you know, it's almost feeling like Dark Night of the Soul. Did they write that poem for me? With this white horse, this brings in the truth. But like I said before, it brings in your heart's desires. It's letting go of the past for a rebirth and a beautiful new beginning, a beautiful new life. So those of you too, if you are moving on with the Chariot, you're going to move on to exactly what you've asked for. There's no downside to this. In fact, the skeleton represents your higher self, telling you it's time to let go. And so you're going to move forward. And if there were mistakes in the past with that Queen of Swords and the Death card, you've learned what you've needed to. So it's not about going out and reliving those same mistakes. So let's see here what the angels have to say for you, Sagittarius. What else does Sagittarius need to know? All right. Advice for Sagittarius. Messages for Sagittarius. No need to worry, okay? So again, those of you that are going through a transition, you've got no need to worry. They say remain positive. Those two go hand in hand. And they say compromise. Now on this too, though, you do have those scales of balance here. For some of you, it could represent Libra energy, but I also feel like it's just about being flexible and kind of being in the flow. Now, they do say take action, all right? So especially if there is an important conversation, it's represented in the cards. And ultimately, they give you a yes. So good things are on the way for you, Sagittarius. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.